Okay people, we're back with another video today, and today we're going to discuss a ZULUSCSI. What is a ZULUSCSI? For those of you who don't know, a ZULUSCSI is a new device that's come out in recent times. I won't say recently, I'll say in recent times, that will emulate a hard drive. In fact, 6 hard drives on your sampler. You can have a couple of CD-ROMs emulated, or maybe 6 Fireball old school hard drives, up to kind of 500 megabytes, I believe. Don't quote me in it, put in the description if you know better. But the beauty of this is that instead of using a floppy disk drive, you can now have a hard drive in the front of your sampler, which I'm going to show you in a minute, so stay tuned for that. The benefits of having a ZULUSCSI is that you can load samples and save them much faster. Now, you can't have unlimited hard drives on your actual sampler. You can only have up to 6, so you probably need to store some of your hard drive images and then just drag and drop them. And the way you use it is, if you stay tuned, I'll show you how to do it. But how it works is you can have 5 hard drives labeled as HD1, HD2, HD3. Now you've also got SCSI to SDs. That is another popular thing that's similar to this, but the beauty of the ZULUSCSIs and the most recent versions of it is that there's not too much configuration involved. You just label your disk image HD1.img, HD2.img, and so on up to 6. And then you just select the SCSI ID on your sampler to use it. So I'm going to demonstrate that now, guys. So let's check it out. Now, also I've got to quickly add is with the ZULUSCSI, you can also use that to copy existing hard drives. So you can basically rig it up to a zip disk, rig it up to a hard drive, and it will automatically create an image onto an SD card that you've got into the machine and make a clone of that drive, which you can then use on your ZULUSCSI, which is absolutely wicked. All right, so let's go into the demo now. Okay, so a quick overview. Just to so you know, you can have these alongside a Gotek emulator as well. I've actually got one on my sampler. I've got both of them. I've got a Gotek floppy emulator to read my floppy images, but I'll do another video on that. Anyway, so you've got your ZULUSCSI installed here. It's got a USB port on the front. I usually just load my images on the SD card here, which is straightforward. It can be hot swap as far as I know, don't quote me on it. I've got a simple 4 GB one on here because you don't really need more than that unless you're going to store a ton of images on your ZULUSCSI. Now, next thing you do is you simply just go to disk once it's all configured properly. Now, I do sell configurations for this sampler here, is going out to the DJ Fresher. Big up the DJ Fresher. And now all you do is you go to disk, you go to hard disk, and then you select the hard drive number that you want to use. So on this one, for example, on SCSI ID 1, which will be HD1 on the actual SD, if you click here, you'll see I've got kit as well. And by the way, this SD card library will be on sale on the Samploids website. It contains my library for those of you who've got ZULUSCSIs and you want to just have library to get you started, or even just for experimenting. There's tons of stuff on here. More on that later. So there we have it. Now, if you want to access any of the other drives, you simply just select the SCSI ID. That will give you drive 2. As you can see, these are all blank space to load and save. If you want to save to it, you would just save on hard drive A. You can also have hard drive B. It depends on sort of how much you've actually saved on there, and also how many free blocks you've got. As you can see here, you've got 7,677 free blocks, which is a ton of free blocks for you to save on. Now, I'll just give you a quick demonstration of how to load and save on this sampler, right? So first of all, I'm going to go to hard drive number 1. I'll call it hard drive, but it's really SCSI ID 1. I click OK, and then I will go load. Now, in comparison to say a Gotek, look how quick that will load. It's quite fast, much faster than a floppy disk drive. So that's loaded straight away. Samples are in, and then if you wanted to save that as a project now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to SCSI ID 6, because I believe as default, the sampler fires up on SCSI, sorry, my bad, SCSI ID 5. So what you want to do is you go there, you hit save. Now, I'm going to do another video on how to configure these properly, and I'm going to be popping that in my Patreon for those of you who want to get technical and understand how to set one of these up. But in a gist, if you've got one from me already pre-configured, this is how it will work. You hit the save button, you move along here to where it says inactive, and this is an inactive partition, and then you just hit go. Now there's two options, you can either wipe and go or just go. The reason why I'm just going go is because there's nothing saved. As you can see, it's inactive, so I can click go, and then that will just save back to hard drive, right? And then once you're done, you can rename the volume. I'm just going to call it test volume, yeah, test volume. So I hit rename, TEST, just call it, I'm just going to call it test, so make life easier, and then just hit volume, and there you go. That's now labeled up. So now when I switch the sampler off, switch it back on, as you can see, this one comes loaded with 4.45 M words fitted. And then we literally gonna go here, and look how quick this thing is just gonna load up our test project. Clear memory, load. So you see now we put it on 5, SCSI ID 5, HD5 will be our default drive that will load immediately. So a really good bit of kit, as you can see, all good to go. So guys, if you've got anything useful out of this video, please leave a thumbs up and leave a comment and let us know, and I'll carry on doing more content like this. That's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out.